Okay, we're back. Now, in this video, we're going to take a look at designing our Flash blog theme. I'm going to take you through a few tips, a few hints, and just to make your blog your own. And we're going to talk about a couple of things on the dashboard and how you can actually start the design process of your theme on the Bloggers Roadmap Bootcamp. So, let's just log into our hosting panel with Bluehost here. So let's log in. Now, once we log in from our Bluehost control panel, we are presented with our, hopefully by now, familiar dashboard for WordPress. And what I would suggest is just right-clicking and open in a new tab your website. So this way we can see the front end and the control panel in one. And when we do any adjustments, we can see what's going on. So this is pretty standard. And we've got our, our website name and our business name. But now we're going to take a look at, adding some features, maybe changing an image and putting a widget on the sidebar with your image on and things like that, just making it more personal. Now, when it comes to personal, let's take a look at your blog, and my advice to you would be to search around the other blogs in your niche, simply Google whatever your business is and blog afterwards. So if it's obviously free website training, we go to free website blog or free website training blog and see what the competition are doing. Now, don't directly copy anyone, try to be individual, but this will allow you to get some ideas. Take a look at your favorite blogs, take a look at what you think works, take a look at everything you read online, and really dig deep to find what kind of theme you want to go with, what type of image you want to go with, and how you actually want your website to lay out. Do you want just a home page? Do you want people to see your posts? So we'll go through that and we'll take a look at some of this training. I'm going to leave a worksheet on this video page as well, so you can just take a look at the worksheet and go through a little tick box exercise, and that'll allow you to really try to get to know your niche and your site. Okay, so let's take a look at our dashboard going forward. Right, where we want to be on the left hand side here, let's go to our appearance and customize. Now, I believe I mentioned this before in a previous video. If I haven't, this is where we will customize our site. Now, I'm just going to go through every one step by step so you can get an idea of exactly where you want to go or how you want to change your site around. Now, without stating the obvious, free website training, this links to this text here, controls that. If you don't want to have text on there, you can simply remove that and you could add a logo instead. Now, a logo could mean your whole business name across the top within a graphic, or you can simply stick with the text. There you go. So next, colors. Now, depending on what your preference is, how you want things to be, you can kind of change all of the colors on your website to your personal preference. Now, I don't recommend something ridiculously garish that enables your site completely unreadable. I mean, you could have something that's maybe very bright green. So really be aware of how you want your site to look, and also be aware that on the left hand side here is a default button which you can use to reset everything in the event that something actually goes wrong. So if you end up with a blue site, you don't want that, you can just hit default and that will default back to white. So remember, create a site that actually looks usable and readable, because that's the most important thing. People need to land on your site, people need to be able to read the text, people need to be able to see what's going on, and people need to be really engaged with your site. And if you have, you know, extreme colors, things that don't match, things that don't really work together, then you know you're gonna have problems. Right, the next one is header image. Now let's take a look at the header image. I've uploaded a few header images here, and just click on the image that you want, which was this one here. So let's just hit publish. And what I'll do, I'll leave a link to a graphics guy who I use. His name's Steve, and he works for gfx-1.com, and he creates very reasonable graphics, very good, and he's extremely cheap. So he can help you out there. So use the link on the right hand side of the video on the page that it directs you to, and order yourself some graphics. As you can see here, the theme is very helpful. It tells you exactly what the size needs to be, 1920 by 1080. You don't necessarily have to understand what that is. You can just tell the graphics guy that's the image that you want, and you can simply upload that. So we've got our free website training header. I've stuck with the same text rather than adding adding an image in there. So I think that looks okay. So we could add a background image if we wanted to. Now I'll show you what that is, for example. This could come in handy for something like a parallax, or if you want to have a very light image in the background with some, maybe what you would call watermarking. That may look quite good, but for me, using a background image can be quite confusing for the reader. So I would stay away from that, and I recommend just using a white background so you can read the text and people can engage with your blog. Okay, next on the list are menus. Now, as you can see here from the example, we have a sample page. Now we're going to create some pages, and some critical pages I believe to have on your blog are a contacts page and an about me page, and also a terms and conditions page or a privacy policy. Now let's just create a menu, and we can call this, you know, main menu, just for example, and we'll make that our primary menu. So we'll hit next. And now what this will do, we'll add into a sub menu. As you can see here, the sample page is gone, so we can add items. Now what we can do, we can add a home link, we can add an about page, we can add, you know, once you get started, you can add something like a resources page, and we can add a contacts page. But let's just publish this for now, and let's go across to our blog, hit refresh. Now you can see we have our new menu structure. So if we just click about, now this has created an about me page. So you know, you would go into this page, talk about yourself, and I find one of the main resources on any blog, I mean, looking at my Dan Sumner blog, dansumner.com, for example, you can land here and you can learn all about the person who is actually behind the blog, and this would give you a sense of reassurance about who you're working with or who you're talking to, or who's the actual person doing the posting, rather than talking to just a screen or reading about just a screen. It adds more of a personal element to your blog. So I highly recommend creating an about me page. And statistics say that the most hit website page is an about me page on 99% of blogs, people want to know who is behind the blog itself. So I highly recommend creating an About Me page and add some details about yourself and what you do. Okay, now resources. As your blog grows, you can add some resources. Now let's go back to dansumner.com once more and check out the resources page here. And what I tend to put on here is like a toolbox, and I will add what hosting I use, what options I use for list building, what platform I use for blogging, what theme I use. I also have some online courses here and also some webinars, some free webinars to join. So on this page, on your resources page, is a great way to alert people into how you use your blog, how you use your business, what the tools are within your business, and what resources you actually use. But the great thing about this is we can add some affiliate links to these. So I am an affiliate for Bluehost, for example. I'm also an affiliate for Aweber. WordPress, I love WordPress, so whatever I do for WordPress is always free. Elegant Themes, I'm an affiliate for Elegant Themes, but I wholeheartedly love their themes and use them daily. And you can advertise your online courses, you can advertise any of your online webinars that make you an income, and that's something that we'll get to later in the Bloggers Roadmap Bootcamp series. So what you can do, you can add any of these resources to this page right here, and also your contacts page. Now on your contacts page, you can edit this page right here. If you want to get in touch with me, once again, we can head off back to my contacts page here, and I have a form. If you want to talk to me, simply name, email address, and the message. Now to create one of these forms, you can simply add your email address in here as just a quick link, or we can go to one of the plugins within the menu structure, which we'll take a look at. So let's just save our appearance and exit out and go to plugins, installed plugins, and by default, if you use the Bluehost setup, there is a WP Forms Lite. So we can go to settings. Okay, once we are in the settings section for WP Forms, there's literally nothing really to do here. All we need to do is go to the left and click on Add New. You can see WP Forms on the left hand menu and click Add New, and we'll just call this Contact, and a simple contact form. And then what this is just a simple contact form here. If you want to play around with it, you can, but for now we're just going to use this as an example of a simple form. We can just click Save, Embed, and it's this link here that we need. So let's copy that link. So we can you can't just copy over there, and Control C or right click, copy, and exit out of here, and we'll just close out this form. Now where we want to go now, we want to go to Pages, Contact or Contacts, click Edit, and if you want to add anything in here, you can. It's entirely up to you. If you want to write a paragraph or two, add a new paragraph, but all we want to do for this example is just right click and paste, or Control V or Command V, paste that form code into here and click update. Now once that's updated, we go back to our blog and you hit refresh, and there you go. It's your first contact page, name, email, and the question. Right, next we are back in our customizer and we're going to take a quick look at content options. Now when you create a post, depending on your frequency, you can display the date, the categories, the tags, the author, a comment link. There is a lot of options you have to display on your post. So if you just take a look at this area here, now we can remove that. So test post created by Dan. So this removes the timestamp. So if you're not posting as frequently, your posts don't look old, which I would recommend doing it this way. You can take the category out because really we don't need that. We don't need the tags. It's a good idea to display the author. If you don't want to, then that's fine. And if you don't want comments, then take the comments out. But I recommend just having these two depending on your posting frequency. If you post every day and you want to post every day, then the date's fine. You know, you can have that on there. It looks like your post's current and ongoing. But for someone like me, I don't post as frequent. Then sometimes taking the date away can be beneficial to yourself. Featured images and display it on single posts on pages. We'll get to this when we create our first post. But for now, decide on what post details you want and just click publish. And the next part we're going to look at is the widgets area. So we're not going to mess with the footer column just yet. That is these three areas here. It's split up into three. We can add stuff in there later. But what we're going to look at now, we're going to look at the sidebar. Now as you can see, search, recent posts and categories. Search, recent posts and categories. Now, do you really want that? You know, you don't have to have these. These can be removed. Recent posts, I quite like recent posts. It allows people to sort of, you know, check out what you've been posting over the course of a period of time, and you know, it allows people to stay on your site a little bit longer. Categories, yeah, we can leave these in, but we shouldn't necessarily have an uncategorized category. So, you know, for now, what we can use, we can add a new category in there and display that rather than uncategorized. So, you know, depending on the nature of your business, free website training, we could just call it training or website training or something like that, and we could add a category to every post. But it's not advisable to use uncategorized. But for this area here, why don't we try something new? So we can add a widget. How about an image, I think. So let's add an image. We'll call the image about me. Click add image. Now I've uploaded an image of myself. To upload an image, just click upload files and select files. Then this will be taken to your computer filing system where you can upload any image you want. Once that image is uploaded, we can simply select the image, add some alt text and a description, and then just click add to widget. So we've got our image there, and that's going to show about here. So we don't want to do that. So we can grab our widget and we can move that. And what we can also do is, we don't need a link there, so that's fine. Or you could actually link that to your About Me page if you want to, so it takes you off to your About Me page. And what we could also add is a text block. below this image, so don't have a title, then we can just grab some text and something like that. And we can add that text in here. And again, move that below the image. And then just click publish. So we go back to our website, hit refresh, and there you have it. So we have our new banner, our website header still. We have some links now on our header, so you can check out the about, the resources. We've added a contacts page, and we've also added an about me image and some text so people actually know who you are. And remember, you can link that to this about me page here. So that's about it for designing our blog. Take a good look around the customizing section. Remember, that's appearance, customize, and just really start to look at the design of your blog. And in the next video, we'll look at creating our first post and adding an image, and maybe look at some plugins to help you on the way. Right, okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.